Number 10, what is the exact value of tangent negative 14 pi over 3 if it exists? All right, so we could type this into the calculator and get a value. The problem is the calculator won't give it to us exactly this form. So we've learned some things called a reference angle. And so a reference angle will ask you how far away is something from either, if it's degrees, you'd ask yourself how far away is it from the x-axis, which in degrees that would be referring to either 0 degrees, 180 degrees, or 360. But this problem isn't like that. It's in terms of pi. And if it's a value that happens to be on the hand trick, it'll simply be the denominator. So basically, what's the exact value of tangent of pi over 3? Now, we'll talk about if it's positive or negative here in a second. So what we do is our pi over 3 finger, which if we are looking at the palm of our hand, your thumb would be pi over 2, your index finger would be pi over 3, so it would be your index finger. But by the way, your middle finger would be pi over 4, your ring finger is pi over 6, and your pinky has to do with anything that's not, that has nothing in the denominator. So we're bending our index finger, and now I flip my hand. Now I have 3 fingers on top, standing up, and I have 1 finger down below the bend. And you take the square root of those. So this will be our value. So I'm getting the square root of 3. Now, we have to discover if this is positive or negative. This is, the question you ask yourself, is it almost or a little bit more than how many pi's? This is almost 5 pi. Now, how am I getting almost 5 pi? Or rather, it's almost negative 5 pi. Is that 15, negative 15 pi over 3 would be negative 5 pi. So this is almost negative 5 pi. Now here's what that means. If we go around the unit circle, and since it's negative means I go down, that's 1 pi. I didn't even write this down. In radians, this would be 0, this is pi, and this would be 2 pi. So there's a negative pi. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. This quadrant here is almost negative 5 pi. So we're in this quadrant. And according to all students take calculus, everything's positive. All are positive here. Sine and CSC are positive here. Tangent, cotangent are positive here. Cosine and secant are positive here. So we're in this quadrant. That means the t's are positive. Since we're a tangent, it's a positive. That's our answer. Now, if we want to use the calculator, come over here, go to trig, tangent, and now we type in negative, and there's a fraction of 14 pi, and anytime you hit a pi or degrees button in the calculator, or whenever we're typing in one of those type of units, we have to tell the calculator whether it's radians or degrees. So I'll press the radian button over 3. We get positive 1.73. Let's check that. Is that the square root of 3? Yes, it is. So we did select the right answer.